Joseph W. Brady is all smiles when the topic is Victor Valley College. In this interview, he offers a progress report and elaborates on the Leadership Summit in Washington, D.C., attended by a large contingent of VVC personnel.
There's all kinds. So let's start with, in December, I became president of the board of trustees for the fourth time. And I'm just working with four great trustees, Dennis Henderson, Jennifer Tarpley, Sharon Pinkerton, and Brandon Wood. And then Dr. Walden, we just gave him a 4-year contract.
Wow.
And we adjusted his pay accordingly. He's done a great job. He deserves. I mean, Victor Valley College, our attendance and enrollment is up 50%. 50% last 2 years. 5-0, okay? There's no other state. So we're the fastest growing community college in the state. We just picked up another $2 million because of it. So we're no longer a small community college, we're now a mid-size. We're in the top 5, I understand, nationally. Okay, nationally. I mean, we're knocking out of the park. We got the Lady Rams basketball team that, Ebony Blacksmith is our star. I mean, I'm hoping to have them in the next board meeting. We just came back. This was the first year that I ever decided to go back to the National Legislative Summit for all the community colleges in the country. They had a record crowd. They had 1,300. All 5 of the trustees went back this year. I'll tell you, we had 4 students that were with us this year, and I really want to acknowledge them. So our ASB president and student trustee is Jennifer Weis. Our ASB vice president is Amber Herrera. Our ASB senior senator is Richard Quiroga, and Richard, I'm sorry if I butchered your name. And then our ASB senator is Jacob Kleinsmith. You have no idea, Terry. Deb and I don't have any children. So when people ask how many children we have, we always say 25,000. So here we're able to meet with our great Congressman Jay Obernolte. They were able to meet in his office. I didn't go to that particular meeting because we went to his house that night. So him and Heather were just gracious. Okay, they invited our board over and the 4 students, and they invited 4 members of the Barstow Community College over, so they were there. So Dr. Bagg was there, and Paul Wilkie was there, Julie Hackbarth was there. I mean, it was great. It was a great networking of not only trustees, but the dinner was great. Jay and Heather have done a very, very good job. They've got a great view of the Capitol. But most importantly, watching our 4 students, 4 students sit down and talk to their congressman about Pell Grants and what needs to be done and the changes and how they're getting taxed. And then we were really lucky through a friendship that I've got with Congressman Pete Aguilar. So Pete is down the Redlands area. I've known Pete literally 30 years. It was funny, I looked up something the other day about him. I might send this to him. Pete was born, I think, 9 days after I graduated from college, okay? He's done incredibly well. So Pete, I graduated in June of 1979. He's done incredibly well. While he's on the Democratic side, it doesn't matter. So he was gracious enough. His staff did everything possible to work around our schedule for the conference to get us on in there. He was really attentive. He gave us 25 quality minutes, and our students told their stories, their personal stories about why they're there. And we're one of the top, if not the top, ASB, Associated Student Body, groups in the country. So he really enjoyed it. He sent me a couple texts back and forth. We've traded some emails. The same group, plus I think another 12 are going back in March, back again. So unfortunately, Pete will not be there in session, but his staff will be there. Jay will not be there, his staff will be there. So it's great to watch your students, because that's why we're there, okay, to watch them advocate. So it was a great trip. I think that we learned a lot. It was a record crowd. They had 1,300. The community colleges are really where you get this base education, and so there's a lot of attention. I'll tell you the one thing that was rather disappointing is that you can tell that Washington's just at absolute standstill. So nothing's really getting done. I think that Congressman Obernoldi's been really smart about how he has not only played this out, but how he's working it. So apparently when he's in session, and they can, he'll have 4 or 5 Democrats over and 4 or 5 Republicans for dinner, and they all sit down, and there's no politics, and they just get to know each other. and he's got a nice area up on the third floor. Have a little libation, a nice little bar. But you're able to have these casual conversations. And I think it's allowed him and Heather to really leverage our interests here within our region. So Heather and Jay, a big shout out. What else is going on? The Educational Conference Center. We are hoping to hold our gala on May 4th there, and unfortunately, Kirsten Acosta, the executive director of the foundation, just had to notify everybody today that it's been moved to June 8th, and we're going to be back at the Hilton Garden Inn. So there's been some delays caused for a multitude of different reasons, the weather, et cetera, et cetera. But last Saturday, I had a great opportunity. It was a great 90-minute tour with Dr. Walden and John Nowlin. John is what I call the executive vice president of college, and Morley Davis, to go tour literally every bit of the Educational Conference Center, where the food's going to be prepped, the bathrooms, the big conference room, where the boardroom's going to be. I think Morley said that for fire we can seat 594 there. It's going to be a beautiful building. The Terry, the stadium, it's you would love it because you're such a sports guy. We got up in the press box and looked down. The logo, the amount of drains underneath the field and how they're done. The track will be put down here sometime by the beginning of May, so people can qualify for the Olympics on it. So that's really exciting. We're also doing some work back there at the baseball diamond. I know that you had mentioned that the baseball games are somewhere else. Well, I can tell you there's a couple of us on the board of trustees that are really pushing. I will tell you this, I believe, and I am a huge supporter of increasing the budget at VVC for sports. Why? I think if you have winning sports like our ladies basketball team is, people want to come there. It's a good feeder to a four-year university. And if you're playing well like they are, they're in the state tournament right now. People get behind that. They rally. They feel good. So I'm a huge supporter. Knocking off. When I first got to college, some people came to me and said, we need to get rid of sports. I'm the wrong guy to talk to about getting rid of sports. I've been around my entire life. A couple great things that Robert Sewell, and Robert, a big shout out. You did such a great job in chaperoning all of us to Washington. We all got there on time. We all behaved. Nobody got in trouble. But a couple things that have recently come about that I want to share. At the conclusion of fall 2023, we collectively served 14,452 unduplicated students, a 21.3 increase from the 22 fall semester. Moreover, we've expanded our courses significantly, increasing from 1,436 to 1,692 sections, an average growth of 252 sections. What does that mean? More classes, more scheduling, more opportunities. We are in the business of educating students, and we are doing everything through our registration program to be able to get there. And I'll tell you, through the help of Dr. Todd Scott and Mackenzie Tarango, that is a major issue on how we really refine. VVC kicked off its inaugural registered nurse apprenticeship to Desert Valley Hospital and St. Mary's Medical Center. Our men's wrestling team emerged as a dominant force this year, perfect 4-0 record. Let's see, just a couple other. We also received the John Rice, this is a big one, the John Rice Awards presented annually to one California community college that has demonstrated success in implementing student-centered programs and services. In 2023, we were awarded the John Rice Award again for not only that, but our strong tutoring program, vibrant math and writing centers, innovative student-run call center that provides immediate support to the students. So everything's clicking. So now hopefully our board will be in the Educational Conference Center by hopefully June or July of this year. So I'm really excited. And I just want to give a shout out to Jennifer, Amber, Richard, and Jacob. Deb and I felt so proud coming back. It's like taking your kids to college. You just watch them grow, and you watch how they talk and what they care about. And I sat back in Aguilar's office and just watched their passion. And I'll tell you, I could tell. I've known Pete a long time by body language, and he really cares. So Pete, a big shout out to you. Hopefully they're going to get to see you again. I think we'll do that trip again. Last thing that I want to pitch. I can't spend enough time pitching what we do. The Hispanic Serving Institutions, which is called HSI Division, provides grant funding to institutions of higher education to assist with strengthening institutional programs, facilities, and services to expand educational opportunities for Hispanic Americans and other underrepresented populations. We just received a letter from the Department of Education about that, and it's a nice award to have to help those students. So, again, Robert, thanks for helping me bring this update on Victor Valley Community College, and on behalf of my fellow Board of Trustees, Sharon Pinkerton, our Vice President, our Clerk, Brandon Wood, Jennifer Tarpley, and Dennis Henderson. We're doing great. We invite you to our board meetings. They're Tuesday, the second Tuesday of every month at 6 o'clock p.m. And as I said to Dr. Dan, I'm counting down the days that we're out of that building, and they can repurpose it, and we'll be in a great place doing great board meetings. So, and thanks to everybody. Looking forward to the gala also in June.